Okay. Hello, my name is Amy Ryan, and I'm sure that you have all been to the beach and you have seen the turtle nests. So I brought along my little turtle because baby sea turtles remind me of what it means to be strong and courageous and adventurous like myself. The day that I realized that I was strong and that I needed to have strength was when I found out that my dad had stage 4 melanoma. I thought I was going to lose my dad forever. And no one is ever really prepared for losing their parent, especially at our age. And we all know that people are going to die, but you never are prepared for your family, your parents to go. So when I found out that my dad was sick, I fell to my knees and I thought that my life was over. I didn't know how to deal with that type of situation. So it was at that time when I needed to have strength and know that I was going to lose my dad someday. And I had to realize that, am I going to go on and live my life without my dad, or am I going to let this destroy me? So I needed to have strength, just like the turtle needs to have strength to make it to that big ocean, um, and needed to be strong to make it to that big ocean. Uh, Courage. I found out that I needed to have courage when we all make bad decisions in our life. And when I was a teenager, I was such in a hurry to leave my house when I was 18. So I left and I got myself into a mess. I got into drugs and alcohol and a bad group of people. I couldn't keep a job. And I was on a self destructive path. And I realized at that point that I needed to have courage to get out of that. So I worked my way up to a manager over several years. It took me a long time, and I never really did make it to college at that time. But I worked and worked and worked, and I found myself to be a manager. And I had a coworker tell me one time that any employer would be lucky to have me as an employee of that business. So that it was then that I realized that I had to have a lot of courage to get out of where I was. And it was a long journey, and I had many bumps in the road. And now I'm back in college, and I have 2 children, and I'm married, and I have a great job. But it took a lot of courage to get to where I am today. And as far as being adventurous, I realized that I love the thrill of adventure. And I found that out when I was invited to go to Tokyo, Japan, and we were hiking Mount Fuji. And we were sitting in a hotel room drinking one night. And you know, the Japanese are crazy. And they wanted to go bathing in the hot springs in Mount Fuji. And I had never done that before in my life. And of course, they swim naked. And who wants to swim naked as a woman for the first time? So it was so exciting, and it was such a thrill. And it was then that I realized that I love the thrill of adventure. So live life like a sea turtle. You have to be strong, you have to be courageous, and you have to be adventurous like myself. And there's a poem that I'll always remember. It says, "Little turtle, you've been told to be strong and to be bold. Go to the water, hide in the sea, come back again to lay eggs for me. And you will never make it to that big, vast, beautiful ocean if you don't work hard. And if you give up, you'll never make it. And you have to always be willing to take that first swim."